your significant comments, guys, anything that you say to the officers and they've got their body-worn footage, those things can be used when or if you are charged. Atlas smackers? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not talking about...
a physical... You mean a physical thing like that? I got a hold and I got a...
Yeah. They will use the same things over and over again in order to justify that. I can smell cannabis. Every single time I can smell cannabis, therefore we've got to stop and search you. You're speeding. That's another one. If you're in a car and they think you're suspicious, if they say you're speeding...
Square Circle Podcast, sponsored by Caribbean Food Plug. The best Caribbean ready prepped meals you can get. Information is just down below. Make sure you check those guys out. And today we have a guest that I've been wanting to get on for a while, but due to her busy schedule, it's been hard to tie her down. But I've got her in the building today. Boxer, lawyer, mother, and rapper that we're going to get into. Please welcome Stephanie Mavromatis.
Hey everyone, Mavromatis, by the way.
That's what I said. Mavromatis. That's exactly what I said.
No, play it back. You'll hear you said it wrong.
What did I say?
Mavromatis or something.
Mavromatis.
Like that. No, Mavromatis.
No. Mavromatis.
Anyway, you said it wrong.
That's how it's said. That's how it's spelled. Listen, my Greek people, listen. You could just make it a bit easier for me, you know? But yeah, cool. We'll start with lawyer, defensive lawyer.
Yep.
More importantly,
Criminal defense.
Criminal defense. Defense is defense, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but
it's only defense anyone cares about is criminal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
Criminal defensive lawyer. So when you first came to the gym, you were still studying.
Yeah,
if that's correct. So
right.
You got through that whole process. You're a mum with 3 kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of sacrifices that's gone into you in this position, but I want to talk about a few things I want to get out there for the kids before we get into the comedy. Let's make it a bit serious and we can get into the comedy. Can you please phrase the generic caution that one would hear from a police officer and break down what they mean?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead.
You do not have to say anything that may harm your defense, but anything that you do say may be used in evidence. It's really, really, really simple.
So break it down, because a lot of people don't understand what that means, you know, and we want to send a message so people understand that if they ever were, or their friend or loved one or family member was ever stopped or, you know, cautioned by the police, they need to know what their rights are. So their rights are, you haven't got to say anything. So let's break that first bit down. I feel like I'm doing that course again. Let's break the first bit down where we talk about. I did the course, by the way. Listen, don't let this. Did I do the course? Did I do the course? Okay, I did. I know my shit as well, but I'm letting her take the floor because she's a lot more experienced than me. So the first part is, you haven't had to say anything. Yeah. So what does that mean? Let's just break that down.
The first part is you have a right to remain silent, and a lot of you clients don't listen to that part, but you don't have to say anything. It's your right to sit there and you can say no comment, or you can just simply say nothing. Last is always my preferred one, if you're one that likes to speak. But you do not have to speak. It doesn't matter what they say to you, what they try and come out with. You do not have to say anything.
And because you've got experience in police stations and going to court, put you on the spot here a little bit here, but hopefully you can keep up with it. Has there been an occasion where someone has done a no comment at being arrested, and then when they get to court, that's almost been used against them because something that you care to not reveal now, but depend on later on evidence can be used against you? Has there been a case or situation where you thought, you know what, you probably should have said that?
Yes, and it leads right nicely into the second part of the caution, right? Because it's what we call an inference, and an inference can be drawn in court if you don't raise at the earliest opportunity a defense. Mm-hmm. But sometimes our clients don't tell us those things, and it's frustrating because if we don't know everything, we can't then preempt something that might be helpful down the line. Mm-hmm. So if the client says, yeah, this is what happens, and then later on they go, oh yeah, but actually this person made me do it, for example. Like, well, if we'd have known that, we could have raised, for example, exploitation, NRM. That's something that we use a lot, especially with the young boys. Yeah. But we can't always do what's right if the client doesn't tell us what the truth is. Right. That's the first hurdle with our job, is getting them to actually trust us enough to be real from the get-go about what their situation is. Yeah. You're not always going to get it right. It's a game. It's like chess. It's like moving pieces.
That's
sometimes.
the part I don't really rate throughout the whole system. I feel like you've got a prosecution and a defense, and it's whoever has the best outcome that day, and they go on to their life and they go on to their life. But this person is actually getting life, and that shouldn't be getting life. But hey, you know, depending on what your defense was like or what evidence prosecution has, can really change someone's life.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not. Don't say anything. The next part.
Basically, the next part is if you do not mention something which you will later rely on in court. So kind of what we said, if you then decide to change your mind later on in court, then the court will have, or they'll draw an inference. And that's what we say. They can draw an inference and say, well, you might be lying, you might have had some time, and make up a defense. So if there is a defense, definitely you got to say at the first hurdle. The first stop, that's the police station. All right. And then it goes into the last bit, obviously.
Which is?
Anything you do say may be used in evidence. So if you do give a prepared statement, a full comment interview, or significant comments, guys, anything that you say to the officers and they've got their body-worn footage, those things can be used when or if you are charged.
But if the officer hasn't cautioned you yet, you can say whatever you like. Now remember that part. Remember that part. As soon as they caution you, as Steph said, you got. But if they've not cautioned you, they've not put you under caution, under arrest, you can say whatever you want, but that could be used against you as well. So just be careful of what you're doing. And the last thing is everyone's entitled to free legal advice. That's another thing people don't know.
Oh, especially the police stations. Especially at the police stations, there is a massive misconception. And part of that is because officers can be really cheeky. If you are not representing them initially and say they go with a duty, and then the family call you and go, oh yeah, Steph, can you represent them? And then you call up the station because they don't want to do no work. They're slammed. They just want to get them in, get them interviewed, get them out. They'll go, oh yeah, but then you got to pay for the second one. It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong. If they've had an interview, then we're in a slightly different situation. But if they haven't had an interview, the firm can hand back a reference. We'll get a reference to represent, and then you can step in and and it's always free. This is one of the first things you say to a client when you sit there with them. I'm here, I'm not associated with the police, and it is free. Absolutely free.
Pay attention, kids, because this is a real stuff. Everyone's entitled to free legal advice. And if someone's saying you're not, then you've heard it here. It's real. We're just sending a message for all you kids out there. Another message I want to just touch on really quickly is a lot of people don't really understand the stop and search, Steph. So do you want to have a quick debrief on the stop and search? Just so, because I think, what are you, so I don't think they don't all know the way of the law,
Yeah, stop and search. Oh, it's so complicated to get into all of the basics. But I think, look, the only way I can put it across that's going to be easy without getting into the ins and outs of case is stop and search is lawful if they've got a reasonable reason, right? And they will use the same things over and over again in order to justify that. I can smell cannabis. Every single time I can smell cannabis, therefore we've got to stop and search you. You're speeding. That's another one. If you're in a car and they think you're suspicious, if they say you're speeding, it's an excuse. It's because they want to search you or your car. It's knowing that you have the rights to challenge them on it. Okay, you're stopping me. What are you stopping me for, officer? And if they come out with something that isn't right, stand up for yourself. I think people are afraid to stand up for themselves, and I understand why, because of the way police are and what we see. And, we've seen the cases where police can take it a bit far and they may use their powers, but people have the right to stand up for themselves, to ask and question them why they are being stopped and searched. And it's happening more and more with a particular group of people. And I will say it's minorities always. If they look a certain way, they can't have a nice car. If they've got a nice car, police are on them straight away.
I have been stopped for a while, maybe because I look old now. I haven't been stopped for a while in a car.
Can I ask a question? So,
Yeah.
For example, if I was stopped...
Hi, mate. How's your dad? Fine. Okay, off you go.
If I was stopped and then the police said, I can smell cannabis, and I know there was no cannabis in the car, surely, if I got out and was like, all right, officer, search me and whatnot, and I have nothing on me to hide, surely would that be a better idea rather than challenge them, or should I still just say, no, you're not searching me?
No, I know what you mean.
Okay, listen, she comes at a price, bro. If you want some,
I said it's free, but I was lying.
If you want some, you ain't under arrest at the moment. So that gonna cost you. No, go on, Steph.
I will answer that though, because it's a fine line between challenging them and obviously not being obstructive. because then they'll do you for obstruction of PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be
Yeah.
careful. You want to challenge them respectfully. And then you also want to comply enough to show that you haven't got anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not hiding anything in the car. You know, it's such a contradiction in criminal law.
It is politeness in a sense, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm at fault because, you know, sometimes because when you're not doing nothing, when you know you're not doing something wrong, it's very hard to sometimes, and they know what they're doing. They can pick at you. They can put it this way, in a nutshell. I've been in a car with a woman, the same woman twice, who was speeding, but the car the second time, you know, you can't really feel you're going that fast sometimes, but when you work out, we're actually going quite fast. And the other time we were, you know, she had her foot down for a bit. The 2 times she got pulled over, she actually got let off. Nothing. She said, oh, you got a clean license, no criminal records. Okay. I'm like, well, surely that defeats the purpose of what they're enforcing. And another time, the same person, evidently, had a company car that they forgot to do the insurance. Obviously, no, just mishap. It wasn't intentionally. But they said, listen, we have to impound the car. I'm in my car. I'm just sitting there. They run my plate. Do you know that guy? Yeah, my boyfriend. Okay. Are you okay to wait with him? I'm not done nothing. My car's fully insured, full MOT. Like I'm done. But it just shows you that, you know, they're going to impound the car, and then all of a sudden they don't. And it was like, that's the way you got to. That's where I think the frustration will come from me as a person. Yeah. But I think it's very, very difficult. So you people need to know the law. We can't go through the whole thing out because it is a massive thing, but know your rights, know what you can stand up for. Yeah. And just make sure you get right representation if you need it. Going into representation, we've spoken off camera a little bit, and I think it's important because a guy can, you know, talk about the things that happen that shouldn't happen, but you've been witness to males that have had allegations brought against them. Obviously, you never really know initially, but once you get into it, you're like, okay, here we go again. Yeah. If there is a way to nutshell this comment and this phrase of, what would you say to the men out there, and what would you say to the women out there that are doing this? Because it's an unwanted trend of people making allegations against people because of spite or because of control. And I'm not saying all the guys are innocent, not at all. I'm not here saying that. Yeah. There are some nasty guys out there, but I think when a nasty guy does something, you know, evidently if it's that nasty, things happen. Yeah. When someone makes a false allegation, the other party needs to go through that whole process. When it comes to like that, actually there's not enough evidence or they were lying, nothing happens. I mean, just give us your experience on dealing with that.
Oh God, I get very frustrated because I see a lot of injustice when it comes to the way that men are treated and the way that women are treated. And what would I say to the men? What can I say to the men? Because the men get the brunt of it. The men are very often accused of things, and it's very clear from the offset that the police don't do their jobs. From that initial stage of that allegation, when they go to the police stations and they offer lines of inquiry that they should follow through. And let's just say, I'm going to use an example of like a sex case, right? That a client has put forward and said, well, that's not true because I did this or I was there, and they don't follow it through. Then it goes to CPS and they get charged. It's heartbreaking to see an individual then have to go through such a horrific stage of their life of having these allegations lauded over them. And something you said earlier, and I was listening at the back and I said, you know what, I understand this, because once your name is associated with something like that, whether it's domestic violence or a sexual assault or any sort of sexual offences, even if you're innocent, it's so hard to get rid of that stain. Yeah. It's really hard. And, you know, I watched something on Netflix a while back about a guy who did a documentary about his abuse. I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix. And it's all about his abuse of his wife. And he was beaten by her and he recorded it all.
Mm.
And I thought, you know what? Finally, someone's actually done something to show that women are just as bad as men.
Yeah, but he's had to do that at the expense of his own. Like, if a woman says a man's done something, the police are around there straight away.
Yeah, 100%.
If a man says a woman's
100%.
done something, it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
we'll deal with it. And I think
They don't.
just touching on that, why is it? I don't know if you can answer it, but why is it men will be arrested, but women will get voluntary interviews?
Yeah.
What?
I don't actually have an answer for that, but I know that happens. It comes back to what I said. There is a massive injustice in the way that both sexes are treated in criminal cases. I've had clients that have had women do horrible things and they've reported it. And the police have actually laughed at them. When they've gone to the front desk and gone to report it, the police actually laughed. It's like, yeah, all right, mate. It's like he's actually got the balls to go there and talk about something that, as a man, and you'll know as a man, that is a little bit, it makes him feel a little bit less of a man, or he's a little bit scared to make people think he's, being treated that way by a woman because there's a stigma about men having to be the strong ones. And how can you let a woman do that to you? But he's had the courage to do that, for the police to just laugh at him. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to the interviews, women majority of the women will always get a voluntary interview because they'll, let's treat them like, and I'm not saying, look, I probably sound like I freaking hate women. I don't.
No, it's just good because men can say this as much as they want, but when you get it from a woman's perspective, it sort of highlights it a bit differently. And I think it's something that we want to push and just raise awareness on. I think, no one ever gets into a relationship wanting to go through any of those things. That's number one. And I think number two is knowing where you stand and what you need to do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on social media at the moment with men recording women that are like basically smashing their head off side of door frames and stuff. So when the police come, it looks like they've actually done something. He looks mortified when I'm saying this because he's only 20 and he's like, this is not real. This is like, I'm a uni boy and we don't see any of this stuff. But trust me, once you step into that real big bad world, there's a lot of stuff out there that you would be shocked. You'd be like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, why would you hurt yourself just to get someone else in trouble? And I think, having people like yourself on the other side that see it, I think it's all about growing up and being a bit more mature about the choices we make and, the things we're prepared to do. So
it's true. And look, even when you are mature and you've been through life experiences, you never know who you're going to be with and what they're capable of. And I think what I've seen is women are quite vindictive. Men are different. And I'm not justifying anything on both sides, by the way, but men, it's quite straightforward with what they do. Their behavioral traits, the aggression, the defensiveness, the cheating maybe, it's pretty similar. Yeah. But women, the extremes I've seen women go when it's a case that I've had for a client on the other side, I'm like, wow. Yeah. It really goes beyond sometimes what you could even conceive. And that's the vindictive nature, I think, of some females that they have when they're really scorned and they really want to get someone back.
But I think what's important to address as well is that to the brave women that do take it as far as they need to take it to, when someone does something to them that is just like completely immoral, a crime of crimes really, anyone that's been sexually assaulted or raped and they have the courage to go through those hurdles of scrutiny, cross-examination, now that takes a certain strength. And I want to send a message to any female out there that's been through that's actually been able to go to the end and see the person, whether they're convicted or not convicted, is by as a buyer, because like you said earlier, it's basically if the defense have got a good defense and the prosecution. But are we seeing that there's more women that lie to the women that actually go through with it? We'll never know that. But what we do know is that any woman that does go through that deserves a massive, massive pat on the back for 100%. Getting through that whole process. So,
and with that, can I just answer the second part of what you asked me? What would I say to the women? What you said is really, really evident. We need more women to be able to speak up. But the women that lie are putting a black shroud over the women that tell the truth.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So that's why I wanted to give them their.
Counterintuitive.
That's why I wanted to give them that, because 100%. I think that when someone can stand up in court and relive something as someone dies or gets murdered, they're dead, right? So
Yeah.
there's nothing. But
Yeah.
when you've been raped, you've still got to carry on. You've still got to live with that over and over. So to go in front of a room full of strangers and almost sell yourself as to proving that something happened to you must be, I couldn't imagine it. And I got 2 daughters, so it's it's something that, you know, you'd never wish on anyone. So I think for all the women out there that do it, just remember the ones that actually do go through something as horrific as that and have the courage and the strength to actually get through that process. So that's a little bit from us on the lawyer, the court, the police, and the knowing your rights. We're going to swiftly move on to the exciting part now, which is the boxing. So Steph, boxer / influencer, really, with your influencer mates and you're up and down, you're doing this, you're doing that. So when you first come here, Steph couldn't normally, you know, complete a round of boxing without moaning about, you know, her health issues that she had at the time. And it's safe to say they've not been here. So people that don't think training helps, you got a real case study here where it does help. People, I think there's 2 things. Obviously, Steph's one was a bit unique, but the ones that I get normally is that people have bad backs. But when they're training and exercising regularly, they don't have a bad back. It's funny that, isn't it? But yeah, so let's talk about your boxing journey. You've had a bag full of fights now.
Yeah.
Some really exciting fights. The fight that stuck out to me was your fight at York Hall. For me, I think that was, you know, if you were to pick one, that was one that was a good moment. But you know, you're boxing, you're traveling up and down the country to go to courts, go to prisons.
Yeah.
You're a mum with 3 kids. So let's go to the boxing first. What keeps you doing the boxing? Because like I say, lawyer, up and down the country, 3 kids, all have different needs, different bits of you they want. Yeah.
Every part of my life is demanding. What keeps me doing it? I just love it. I absolutely love it. For me, boxing is my therapy. It's what keeps me sane in all of those crazy things that I've got going on in my life. Some people like a glass of wine. I like to go and punch people or punch things. It's as simple as that. It's been a massive part of my life for so long. I couldn't imagine my life without it. And I've met so many wonderful people and I've been able to do so many wonderful things because of it. I'm just so grateful for the sport, not just the health and the mental health side of it, but the atmosphere, the community of boxing. It's such a special place. It really is. There's so many great people in this sport that people don't really, you know, talk enough about. You know, we talk about, we love the sport, we love punching people, we love winning, we love the belts, but I love the people as well. The people are great.
It's very community based, isn't it? I mean, 100%. You've made your network from being at Dennis and Dyer of where it's gone like that is like, massive, you know, from all the people that you're good friends with now that you've met on the circuit. I mean, you probably go to as many boxing events now as you do to fight because of the people you know and the people that are fighting. So what would you say the hardest part of the boxing part is? I mean, in general, I mean, everyone's going to say maybe sparring or making weight, but aside from those 2, because they're always going to be hard, no matter if you've got other things to do or not.
Are we talking about actual boxing or like the training? Because obviously balancing it out for me is the hard part. It's when I'm like, look, for example, today, I've come here to train today. I've had a full-on day. My phone hasn't stopped. I'm doing 1,000 emails. I've got bail applications. I've got people starting trials. And my kids are coming home and they're asking for this and asking for that. We're getting ready for football. And I'm like, oh, I'm so drained. And then I've got to come and then I've got to do a really cardio intensive session here. Pads, you know. That is hard. You know, it's hard. It's never going to be easy when you're balancing so many things. But again, when you love something, even though it's hard, you just do it.
Okay. Is there anything you do in boxing, hard-wise, that can compare to your role as a lawyer?
I mean, strategy. It's got to be strategy. If you've got an opponent, obviously you be strategic, right? You've got to figure them out. You've got to figure out.
Sorry. That's the thing I'm wrong.
All right, go on.
A hard thing in boxing that can compare to what's as hard in your role as a lawyer.
A hard thing in boxing that I can compare to...
Could it be a certain case you're going to go to that's going to you have to mentally like warp yourself? I guess you've got to warp yourself into certain cases.
Getting yourself into that mindset.
So that mindset of a serious case.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset of a banger, someone who can, you know,
someone whether you're sparring someone that's good.
So which one of those two would you find more difficult? A murder case with like drugs and all that, or
I'm gonna go with the work.
okay,
and I'll tell you why. Because
you can run away in the other one.
No, yes, you can. Although we know that I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not one for running in there. I think what it is with the fight or with the hard element of the boxing, when it's done, it's done. With the work element, it's not done. It's always there. I'm terrible with my sleep patterns because of my work. I can't switch off. And if I'm dealing with something complicated or I've got a lot of people that I need to look after, it's very hard to switch off. So there is no leave it in the ring. It's
you know what?
home.
It's mad you say that, Steph, because I put something on the story a few days ago. Arguably, our parents worked as hard, if not harder, for less to a certain extent. But everyone in 2026 rather, is so tired. Like, as in they're like just shattered. And you think, we're not working nowhere near as much or as hard as our parents and our parents' parents had to.
Yeah. I've got something to say about that. I think the generation is just weak. I say that.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
100%, like this younger generation as well, because we're slightly, our generation is slightly different.
Bit higher,
we're a little bit higher. But the younger generation, like their work ethic is so shit. They just want to sit there on social media and make quick money. They want to do minimal work as possible. Or like even reading a book and reading some text. Like, why can I do that? Why can't I just go on ChatGPT? Like, no, read the damn book.
Read
you
the
learn
book.
so much more. Your brain will retain a lot more information if you're actually reading it, consolidating it in your mind. But we're losing so much of that.
Sound just come into my head when you said that. Read the book. Where's that from?
I don't know.
Read the book.
It's probably somewhere.
Sister Act 2.
Oh, yeah. I was watching a reunion where they all sang. Amazing.
Read the book. She goes, read the book.
It's so true, but it's so true.
No, it's true.
But
it's true.
Think about what our great grandkids are going to be like. They won't even know what a book is. Technology would have taken over. AI would have taken over. There'll be none of that. We're going to use less and less of our brains. And I don't know what kind of state we're going to. It reminds me of that Disney movie, WALL-E, where they're all sitting in those little, pods, and they're all fat and they're just touching on everything and they just don't know how to do anything. That's that. And I say that laughingly, but I'm actually concerned that's the way that human beings are going to end up, because we don't know how to work hard. We don't know how to do anything that benefits us anymore, like map and compass. I just remember sitting there with my aunt and uncle with a map out, trying to find their way.
Do you know what map and compass is? Jesus.
Yeah, like getting an atlas map. Do you know what an atlas map is?
You mean a physical map?
Yeah. I'm not talking about.
A physical. You mean a physical thing like that? I got a hold and I got a.
Yeah.
The furthest I can go back was the AA route finder.
Oh yeah.
You guys won't know this, but basically you had to print off your destination, right? And imagine you had to drive and keep looking at these sheets. I always had someone in the side, because one of my boys, we had to go to his girlfriend's. It was like 45 minutes away, but it's like you print out these sheets. It's like, this exit. I couldn't even do that now. Could you imagine, like, knowing when you? I don't know how we even did it, because there was no warning of where we were. It would just be like, exit here, exit there, and that was literally it. So that's the furthest I can go back. So anyway, that's old school. We're getting some more boxing. We're going to do person versus person, and you got to pick your favourite. So we're going through the girls first, because that's how I like to do it.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay. We're going to go with Fran Hennessy and Shannon Courtney.
Ooh, Fran Hennessy.
Okay.
I'd say. Okay. Yeah, I like her flair.
Fran Hennessy, Lily Winch.
Lily Winch.
Okay.
Go back, my girl.
Lily Winch, Katie Taylor.
Lily Winch. I know.
Lily Winch, Clarissa Shields.
Sorry, Lil, but I love Clarissa. I do love her.
Clarissa Shields, Amanda Serrano.
Amanda Serrano.
Ooh.
I know. But
wow.
she's Latina. I love the Latina vibe. You know about the Latinas.
Wow.
She's something, she's different though. You know what I love
And
about
Clarissa's different too.
No. Clarissa is, and I love Clarissa. I love you. Like, you are one of my idols, 100%. You know what I love about Amanda is she's very humble though. She is. I'm not saying Clarissa isn't. Don't kill me.
Oh,
But
you're saying okay.
it's a different
Let's
kind
open
of
up.
heart.
Let's open it up for a little bit. Let's open up this little bit of convo because someone like Serrano can be humble because she literally has a nation backing her.
Yeah.
Someone like Clarissa Shields has to be outspoken.
Yeah.
Has to trash talk because they don't get the credit that she deserves. She's a
I do agree on that.
two-time
Yeah.
Olympic gold medalist, 8-time world champion, 4 or 5 division champion, 3 or 4 undisputed. Like, you could just keep talking about it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And
on that.
although she may have come across a little bit distasteful, not to me, because I just feel like she talks it, walks it, backs it, and does it. So she could do whatever she wants in the way I see it. Like in any entity, if someone smashes their job and they do what they're supposed to do, to a certain extent, you do your thing. But with someone like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor's, they've literally got a nation backing them.
Yeah, that's a very.
They haven't
good
got to
point,
say anything because they say they're fighting.
Yeah.
They'll come. Where people like Clarissa, unfortunately, have to, Clarissa, Caroline Dubois, same thing, amazing boxer, but are people coming out in their hundreds of thousands to watch them? No. Are they tuning in millions to watch them?
No, they're not. Yeah,
so sometimes even Caroline has added a little bit of because she was humbled. That got her nowhere. Just she's a good boxer.
Yeah,
that was it. Like, she's a good boxer. We know she's a good boxer, but how about you actually back your girl?
Yeah.
So again, it's just one of those things. But let's go to the men really quickly. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, we'll change it up on this one. One that you date, and one that you'd spar. So I'm going to give one or the other.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So I'm going to give 2 at a time.
All right.
One that you go out on a date and one that you'd spar.
Okay.
Let's just start with the easy one, shall we? Let's go with Anthony Joshua and Anthony Yard.
Oh God, that's really difficult. Both. Oh God, that's so difficult. Who would I? As much as I love Anthony Yard, I love to spar him as well because I've seen him here and I've seen what he can do.
She's just go on, just say it. God damn it.
Anthony Yard, and I'd go on a date with Anthony Joshua.
Obviously, that was coming. Okay. Next 2. What 2 could I get? Okay, yeah, I can keep it. I can keep it. So we got. Shakur Stevenson. Conor Ben.
I would like to spar Shakur because he's technical and I think I can learn a lot. And I'd go on a date with Conor.
Yep, okay. Got that one. Loud and clear on that one. Okay. All right, I'll give a couple more. Remember, you got to pick one or the other here, yeah?
All right.
So we're going to have Tyson Fury. Why are you laughing? Oh, why are you laughing? What?
I'm no woman.
So we got Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora.
Like Jai or Patai or something.
They're coming, relax. Obviously, know what you're doing with that one then, don't I? Jesus Christ.
Okay, I would probably... I think I'll go on a date with Chisora because he's mad and I think he'd be quite funny.
Okay,
He's
you
a little
spar
bit bonkers.
Tyson.
Yeah, I'd spar Tyson. He probably is fearing as fuck. But I mean, the closest to his height I've ever sparred is Jordan Banjo, and that was really annoying. Getting my head pinged off every 2 seconds.
I hopped in the ring with him once at SW's. Yeah, his leg was like the same height as me.
Yeah, exactly that. But I think Chisora would be quite funny on a date, to be fair.
Guaranteed burger. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have Jay or Pattaya, since you mentioned him. God. And then we're gonna go with Jay or Pattaya and Richard Riakpo.
Okay, well, Jai's definitely coming on a date with me. That's not even a question. Whether I want to spy him or not. Whoever taught how to spy.
That was true. Okay. And then you'll spar. Okay. Yeah. And Wardley Dubois.
Ooh. I'll go on a date with Wardley. Okay. I'll spar Dubois.
That was very confident. I'll go on a date with Wardley. Yeah. I'll go on a date with him.
I think Dubois seems so dry.
I couldn't, without being horrible, that was. I don't think me and him would have a lot to be able to discuss. Yeah.
I saw him before. I remember a few years ago before he fought Usyk. I was doing my last driving lesson before I passed my test, and I was in Lowen Sainsbury's, like parking the car, and he walked across the crossing, and he's always smiling ear to ear. It looks like he's just not fought in that break. And in the interviews as well, like there's something missing.
There lies the reason for my answer.
It does. Yeah, it's a bit mad. Okay, next one, last one. We'll go with Lyndon Arthur. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I want to see who else you put.
I don't know yet. It's on the spot stuff that I'm doing right now. I'll say Lyndon Arthur and Liam Dyer.
I would go on a date with Lyndon Arthur.
Of course you would.
He has got banter. I love watching him. I love watching his videos. He's actually really funny. And I've sparred Liam Dyer, so I know what I'm getting in for. At least it's a know your territory, isn't it?
Definitely, 100%. Okay, so best fight you've been to and a fight you wish you'd go to and a fight you'd like to go to, so something that could happen. So firstly, the best fight you've been to watch.
Oh, God, the best fight I've been to. Can that be anyone? White collar?
Anyone, yeah. She wasn't at my fight in November 22nd, 2025. Because obviously if she was, then I'm guessing that would have been the best one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Best fight I've ever been to. Ooh, there's so many. Let me think. You know what? Because the professionals get a lot of, we like those fights, but they're short-lived, but a good scrap. I'm going to go for Liam Dyer and Luke Dyson.
Wow.
That was a good fight. I really enjoyed that.
Liam Dyer. Yeah.
That was a good fight.
That was a very good fight.
That was a good fight. I really enjoyed watching that live.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Okay, a fight you wish you went to.
Mark Dennis's fight.
Oh, no, I'm just sang in my throat.
Obviously, your fight.
No. But is there a fight you might have watched it on telly? I wish I went to that one.
I do. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. The first one. Because I didn't expect it to be so action. I did and I didn't. I knew what we were gonna see, but when you see it and you're like, fuck, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
Just to feel the vibe. That I actually genuinely wish I was there for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a fight you'd like to go and see? Anything that's like currently coming up or that you think, I really want to go to that?
That's a difficult one because
Wardley Dubois, not interested? Don't care about it?
You know what? It's not that I don't care about it. I'm interested to see it because I think it's two styles that I'm curious to see how they're going to go against. Obviously, Wardley is white collar background, doesn't have that classic amateur skill set. I'd like to see how that one goes down, but I can't say that I'm as excited about it. That's the thing. I don't know if there's one that I'm currently going, I really want to go and see that. Liam Dyer and just
that's Liam's what we're talking. Liam Dyer. Dyer. That's
right.
right.
Have to say that one.
I'm gonna be there.
curious.
I'm gonna be there.
And
It's gonna be.
I'm definitely gonna come to that one. But I'm curious to see how them two are gonna.
Yeah, it's
box
gonna be
against each
interesting.
other.
It's gonna be
I've
interesting.
seen how Liam's been training and obviously his changes,
Yeah.
evolution, and I've seen clips of Idris and he's skilled.
Yeah, he's decent.
skilled,
He's decent. He's
So I think
decent.
that's gonna be a good little fight.
It's gonna be an amazing fight. Amazing fight. Okay, so we've gone through the lawyers. We've gone through the boxing. Now, for one, some things people don't know is that you can rap.
Yeah, all my school friends would know that.
Okay.
Some people that have known me a long time will know that. And anyone that's been fortunate to be in the smokers area of many bars and clubs after I've had a few drinks will know that too.
Okay, well, what we're going to do, we are not going to share this with you right now. Do you know why? Because we've got something big coming. And my guy behind the camera that I'm looking at is going to work with Steph over here. We're going to release something in the coming weeks. It's going to, add another string to her ever-growing bow of talents. But it's been great to have you on, Steph. It's been enlightening to share the law side of the world, your boxing, dating options that, well done, guys. She's interested in, and obviously to show what you've done and how far you've come, and we wish you nothing but success. You've got a massive fight. Well, not massive fight. Every fight's a massive fight, especially when we're getting older. 14th of March.
Yeah, defending a belt.
Go on, plug that real quick. Go on.
Yes, 14th of March, guys, I will be defending my belt. It will be at the Mayfair in Romford. Get your tickets if you haven't already. You guys know that I always come with the heat, and my ring walks are pretty decent, to be fair. I've got something special for this
It's all
one.
about the ring walk. It's all about the ring walk.
It is.
But we wish you nothing but the best on that.
Thank you.
You know we're going to be down there supporting. We're there. We're in the house. So this is Square Circle Podcast. This is Stephanie
Mavromatis.
and that's our episode.
Thank you,
Peace.
guys.